And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Carlson with us this morning. Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Run into you every once in a while?
Yes, we do. Sometimes on the road, but not.
Not
physically.
Not physically. It's not. Yeah. And you're going to be actually going to be probably driving that beautiful. I saw you driving your way. It's a Dodge Power Wagon, isn't it?
No, I was
parade.
Oh yes, the Dodge Power Wagon in the parade. Yes, you did see me in the parade.
I
Yes.
saw you in the Veterans Day parade, and then I think you'll probably also be driving it in the boombox.
We will be. We will be. We're looking forward to it. We've actually made a few modifications to it to make it a little more drivable in parade.
Is that
mode,
where I heard that Hemi was being ordered or something for it?
No Hemi was.
Oh, okay. I never know. Absolutely never know.
No.
That's such a neat truck.
It is. It's a great truck. People love it when they see it. We're going to try to keep it running for as long as we can, and it is a nice looking truck. And our folks down in our auto shop are doing a great job, and they love it. They love to be able to do that kind of work too when they're not busy doing everything else. If they do have a spare 15-20 minutes, they can go over to that truck and do something to it to make it a little more streetable, a little more drivable.
Is that a reasonable, not a reasonable, but was that an original MEC truck?
That was an original truck. That was our number one. That was number one. So that was our original truck in 1947. So it is the original vehicle, which obviously they couldn't use anymore. But they're adding things to it, like there was an old flare system for lighting that they found, and they painted and they mounted it in the back from way back in 1947. So
oh my gosh!
It's a very neat vehicle, although the engine has long been retired, and it has a different engine in it.
Okay.
And now it has automatic transmission instead of manual, and brakes that work, which are
good.
really important when you're in parade situations.
Especially in parade situations, yeah. It always scares people so badly when you come up over the top of them in something that size.
Yes.
Well, it's you've been awful busy. The MEC has just been amazingly busy, and I got to tell you, and I guess I should first start out by mentioning the fact that through the graciousness and ability to foresee the future, as far as I'm concerned, you guys were instrumental in helping provide a new office for the veterans.
Absolutely.
And for River Fund.
Yeah, we try to do as much as we can, and obviously the needs in the community are infinite, and you can't be all things to all people. But the River Fund's always been, as you know, it's been. I've been to the River Fund when it started 6 years ago.
Yeah.
I was on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Probably one of the first check donors on that first day that Debbie and such opened it up. But it has been really important to us, and the River Fund does good work for us too, by allowing us to help the community. So we're pretty excited about that office, and I guess it's sitting up on the screen, and there's Mike again.
Yeah.
He was here yesterday, and there he is again.
Yeah.
See, I do watch your program.
You do. You absolutely do.
But I think, and what a great partnership it is. When Mike mentioned that he'd like to move across the river,
Yeah.
and he mentioned it to me, I said, I got the spot, and so we did offer that up, but it had a little more space than we needed, and Mike was able to connect us up to another important cause for us, which is the veterans. And as you know, we're at the Veterans Parade. We're very big on veteran support. So, and that's the other picture right there.
There you go.
And there was a couple of our board members that showed up to take a look at the center, and it is pretty neat. And we also like the way that the Veterans Center and the River Fund, they work well together. They really do.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job, and it is kind of nice. You walk in there, and it is kind of a team atmosphere, even though they're not directly the same entity. It is pretty neat. So we were happy to do that, and we were happy to give Mike an offer he couldn't refuse. So.
And you did. It was so ironic that everything came down the pike the way it did, and the timing was just, it couldn't have been better. I mean, all the way from all of us, we've been talking about gee, it's difficult helping the people in Bullhead City, some of the people, because they can't get over here to Laughlin.
Right.
But we can't afford, to go open up a big office and do all this, that, and the other. This came available at a very reasonable cost to us. Plus, that furniture was donated, so we had enough to go ahead and furnish the office. Got enough volunteers to man the station, and now, if things get too hard, it ain't worth it. But this one just fell together.
It did, and then you had folks, you had folks that volunteered to help with the materials and,
Yes.
and doing some work inside, and Jim Zavorsky and folks did.
Yep.
That was really nice. That was great. So it was really a community effort and a community activity, and we are vested in this community. That's
are.
one of our principles.
And just a side note, it was weird for me because I hadn't walked in that building for almost 30 years. Because that was the old radio station I used to work out of when I first came to town.
I heard that.
Many years ago.
that.
I
Yeah,
actually
a couple of years
almost
ago.
got a headache when I remembered, oh man, this is where I wasn't making any money. It was a different town back then, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have so many things going on. Mohave County, you guys opened up a window for the Mohave County Treasurer
We did.
here in town
We did.
because there wasn't one.
Yes, we got wind of the fact that the Mohave County folks were having to close down their window in Havasu for folks to take payments for taxes, and it was because of the facility and security and a number of reasons. And we watched what was happening in the social media as well as what was happening in the paper, letters to editors and such. That people were going to have to, if they wanted to pay cash, they were going to have to drive to Kingman to do so.
Right.
From Havasu, from Tolpak, from here, and we thought, well, for twice a year, if our facility is good enough, we have an extra window, and they can occupy one of our windows, and it's turned out great. I think that this year, there's the numbers.
Wow.
I mean, we got some 800 plus folks who have stopped by, over $3 million, around $3 million of property taxes collected right
Holy
here, right
blimey.
here in Bullhead City to make it easier for folks. And we think that's a great community service. Again, from the county standpoint, well, we're in the county, and we didn't charge them anything to use it. Go ahead and come in and use it. They'll have to set up their own systems, to take payment and such. But we're right there, and I think they've enjoyed it. I mean, it's worked well for them. It's worked well for us, and it was a great, again, another community-centric activity that Mohave Electric's involved in.
So otherwise they would have had to have driven all the way south.
Well, they would have had to
Or
driven
Kingman.
from south all the way to Kingman.
To Kingman,
Yeah, everyone would have had to come to Kingman, or they would have had to make investments in that facility. That's I guess if we can provide an alternative that doesn't make you have to make investments in the facility, and everybody's happy, that sounds like it's a great thing. I'm certainly not one that wants to see my taxes go up, so if we can find a way to help avoid additional spending, that's great.
I've known you for quite a few years now,
Yes,
and besides a business level, a personal level.
correct.
And I know, and I'm going to tell you this, that when this man talks about energy conservation, he means it. He lives it. He absolutely lives it. And you've got so many programs going on right now.
We do. Not only do we have our regular programs in which you can come into the office and we can help you. We can go to your house, or we can go to your business. We can help you look at it. We can help you do an assessment. Steve Bowman does an incredible job that way. Zach is also trained in doing that too. Zach Spencer went to a week's long worth of school here this summer, so he actually knows what the contractors are doing when they're doing weatherization. So we do have that ability, it happens to me all the time. If my neighbors ask, as you know yourself,
Yeah.
I'll walk right in and I'll start telling you what you might need to do. And I don't mind that, because we don't mind you not using electricity at all. We would prefer you. We have a whole lot of what we call supply side strategies for you to save money. There are folks that believe we're only in the supply side and not in the demand side. But we also have a whole bunch of demand side strategies, and those strategies would be whether it's window coverings, air conditioning, draft sealing, whatever that is, or even just what you do in your house.
Right.
The normal way you operate your house. But we have a new program that we think is really, really important. It's one thing to actually give people money, the once a month or once a year handout to try to help people bridge the gap from their budget to their expenses any
Sure.
one given year. But that doesn't make a sustainable change. That means they may be back again next year.
Right.
And we know we have low income and fixed income people. And when we
Bunches.
say fixed income, also low income, fixed income. And we have a program that will help those folks, not a handout, but a kind of a hand up. And what
Okay.
we're trying to do is we'll help leverage other money, state money, other money, that grant money that can come in, federal money that can come in, and we'll leverage that money against our money. And we'll try to, if you qualify, if you have the right qualification for income level, we'll make investments in your house. That would be changing out your air conditioner. That would be maybe a refrigerator change, weather sealing, window coverings. Window shades from the outside, try to block the sun. Insulation. We'll make those. We'll help
Seriously?
make those changes. We've done 5 homes. The course of this year. The program's just started this year. We've done 5 homes. There's been a total of $50,000 invested in those 5 homes, so
Good
about
grief.
$10,000 a home. Mohave Electric has actually, we've only paid about $10,000 into that. So we're leveraging our money, I guess, 20% our money and leveraging the other 80%. But we're making sustainable changes for people on low income, fixed income, that they might be then able to afford their energy bill the next month and maybe have other money to do other things with. So we're helping them stretch their money, and we actually have 11 homes in progress right now. So we completed 5. There's 11 homes, 11 people.
more.
11 more that are in the hopper. And it may not sound like a lot, but still, I think over time, if we can be doing 16, 20 homes a year, can you imagine what it'll look like at some particular point? What the properties will look like? It also helps their property value, because now their
Sure.
property has a higher value. So there are some requirements, income requirements. You have to own the property, but it's income requirements. And we have some phone numbers that you can call. WACOG is our partner, Western Area Council of Government, and there's the phone number, the 928-753-6247. Or you can call Steve Bowman. His number's up there, or Zach Spencer. They're easier to find. But if you call those folks, we can help guide you towards getting in touch with WACOG to try to make a sustainable difference in your home. And Nancy, if you're listening or hearing, you've heard me say this, Nancy, since I've been here, is we want to try to make sustainable changes for people, not just a month by month or year by year handout. So
That's how you get things changed. That's how you turn the head of the horse.
Absolutely.
There's
That's
another
absolutely
way.
right.
You can pull on the reins all you want, but there's better ways to turn them.
Absolutely.
That is actually, it's very generous. I mean, it is pretty much I haven't heard of another power company doing anything like that.
Well, other power companies have weatherization, or they have assistance programs, but knowing our demographics here, we really focused on the lower income. So we have both assistance to help you save.
Right.
We have things on our website to help you save from the demand side, and we have demand side programs like if you replace your air conditioner or your heat pump, we'll give you rebates.
Right.
So we do have some demand side programs that are there for all incomes. But for this particular group of folks, and you heard me when we talked this morning a little bit in the hallway, I really have a strong desire to try to help within the means that we have at Mohave Electric or anywhere else, to try to help those folks who are on fixed income.
Sure.
Low income or fixed income, I really do.
They just don't have the extra bucks, and they're not getting any more percentage of growth
No.
in their checks or anything else.
And they don't have they're not in the job market like the rest of us are. They can't.
Right.
They can hardly take a second job, or they're really not positioned to do that. And I understand that completely. It's one thing if my costs go up or my taxes go up. I get that because I'm gainfully employed.
Right.
And I have the possibility of increasing my income by way of my performance or by way of taking a second job if I want to.
Right.
It's really hard to do that when I look at my parents. Father's 81, and I look at him, and he's there's just not an avenue.
It's not
for him.
feasible.
It's not feasible
At all.
It's not an avenue for him.
Wow, that is a good one. We're going to take a real quick look at our weather, 5-day weather. Can we do that?
Yes, we can.
I guess
do
we
that.
can. I hear music. Of course we can. If you hear music, we can do it. Brought to you by Bullhead Auto and Marine Superstore. Ladies and gentlemen, great time to go down there and check it out, because if you're looking for Christmas presents, believe it or not, you can find them at an Auto and Marine Superstore. Get your husband things for the boat, or your wife things, convenient things for the boat, or for your side-by-side, your UTV. They've got from everything from seats and door panels to lights, you name it, it's all at Bullhead Auto and Marine Superstore. Go down, you need to check it out.
Around the region today, these are the high temperatures. We're expecting lots of sunshine today. Going to be windy tomorrow, but we'll worry about tomorrow. But today, 65 degrees for a high in Las Vegas, 45 in Flagstaff, 71 in Phoenix, 67 in San Diego, 72 in Los Angeles, and 71 degrees here in the Laughlin Bullhead City area. Winds out of the south today at 10 miles an hour, and an overnight low tonight of 51 degrees. Tomorrow, that's when it's going to start getting windy. 21 miles an hour out of the north is what we're expecting. High temperature of 70 degrees. So hold on to your hats. Make sure the turkey doesn't fly away. 49 for an overnight low.
Turkeys can't fly.
Oh, yeah, we did see that video earlier this week. 72 degrees. They might mount a counteroffensive. Friday, we're expecting 72 degrees. For those of you, 49 degrees is what you can expect if you're going to do that Black Friday stuff. Winds out of the north-northwest to 7 miles an hour on Friday, 11 miles an hour on Saturday, 10 miles on Sunday. Your temperature drops drastically on Sunday to 65 degrees. Your overnight low 46. So it's not going to be too bad, but it's going to get cooler over the weekend.
Thank you, Sam. It drops drastically 5 degrees. Whoa.
That's a lot when you live around here.
45 degrees would be a great drop, but we're not getting that here. Bullhead Auto and Marine Superstores, ladies and gentlemen. Stop by. They're up on Miracle Mile. 45 degrees in Alaska from total drop, not down to 45 degrees. That's what I meant. So, Tyler.
Yes.
The age-old, gee, let's talk about this thing. You and I have had many conversations about solar panels and how really the rest of the grid seems to pay for the luxury of people having their solar powers, even though they pay premium price for these panels that are really probably not up to what they could be today. There might be still a shortage on benefit.
Sure.
Then we take a look at these windmills, and I call them windmills, wind turbines. And there was just a huge project up near Searchlight that was just TD'd on all this. They were going to fill that valley up, and of course there was a lot of opponents because it does make it ugly. And this is, and they're worried about whacking birds. There's eagles up there and everything else, and these can be damaging to the environment, although I've never been a huge person in that regard about worrying about whacking a bird out of the air every once in a while, unless I'm in an airplane, then I got a real serious issue with it. But aside from that, where are we with power coming off of the ocean, for instance? I've seen so many of those different things that are wave powered that, are they working? Are they not working? What's going on with nuclear power? Are we building any nuclear power plants? Because of solar, it doesn't pay to have solar power anymore, and at least not in Nevada it doesn't. You're not going to afford it, nor is the power company going to help you. So, we're subservient to them, although recently in Nevada we did get the option to have no more monopoly with our power company. I think we're able to bring in other power companies. Usually when they break up something like that, it goes to deregulation, then everything goes to hell. I know, right?
Well, deregulation has not shown to ever reduce somebody's cost in the long run. So it make you feel better that you get to change, but it really hasn't. It really hasn't.
No.
It hasn't developed that way all throughout the United States. So that's an interesting thought, and it's really a thought. If you really are paying really high rates, I would understand that. When you're paying some of the lowest rates in the nation, there's only probably one direction that the rates can go up. But when you're talking about, there's all kinds of technology out there, and you and I have talked about a bunch of technologies, not just wave technology, which has some promise. Of course, then there are issues because wave technology does have equipment that's in the ocean, and is that disrupting ocean life? Those are questions that are going on as it's being evaluated. And of course, you and I have talked about solar, wind. There are very good wind places. There really are, and they've done studies on this for many, many years. And probably the best places for wind is what you call the tornado belt, from the Dakotas and Nebraska all the way down into Texas, because of the normal wind speed, the everyday wind speed, and we get wind here too, but we don't always get it, and we don't always get it full scale. There are places that get it a lot more often, and there are places, and it's being developed. I mean, when I go up to Sturgis every year, I see more and more of them developed along what I call the tornado belt. And I think it does make sense, and there's nothing wrong with that. You talked about nuclear, and there are new modular, like nuclear pods type, smaller nuclear reactor type things that are being tested and looked at. And I think all of those, I think they all have promise. We still have the age-old issue: what do you do with the remnants of nuclear? That's still a decision that has not been remedied here in the United States at all. That's still if it's not a true environmental issue, it's at least a political issue. Of what do you do with it? But you still have that. I guess the bottom line always is, in Mohave Electric, about 15% of our resources come from renewable resources. A lot of people don't realize that, but about 15% of it does. Mostly solar, but also some hydro. It's great, and it's great to have some of your resources that way. But we are pretty much believe in the all of the above, and I certainly do. None of my financial portfolios are loaded with one thing, not loaded with one stock or one mutual fund, and that's pretty much my view of this, is that a lot of these like solar and wind are kind of passive generation, meaning that if you need them to produce more, you don't get to make the wind blow or the sun shine. You know, if it's midnight, you need more power, you don't get to ask the sun to come up. And so you need a certain amount of dispatchable power, and then you need regulation, and that's a tech thing that was that 2 days that your head was spinning afterwards when I was talking about regulation. And
I remember that.
and I know that's a really difficult concept if you're not really in the business, but you need that. So I think all of the above. I'm really excited that there's going to be, as we keep moving down the road, we'll find more and more technology that's going to be usable, but we all have to recognize that none of them are going to be the panacea. None of them are going to be the answer to all equations, because you really can't. And a person could today disconnect from the grid if he had solar, and he had batteries, and he had a generator. Then you can.
But what is the cost?
Well, that indeed is the question. Is what are the cost of operating the generator, the cost of the batteries, and the cost of maintaining the batteries, the cost of replacing the batteries.
You're not really off the grid because you got to buy fuel for the generator.
You got to buy fuel for the generator, but you actually can, and if one really wants to. But none of those individual technologies are really fiscally viable if you actually try to get off of them on a single one. You just can't do it.
I was saying, during the summer I get power bills for the house, and to me it's absolutely ridiculous. And we're somewhat conservative. However,
I didn't say a thing.
He's sitting there laughing. Do a two-shot on this guy. At any rate, we've got, and I was saying, well, I would love to put up like 3 panels up on my roof and have them run down and power my house. I don't want the power company buying them, and then when I need the power, I'll use it. The other power from the electric company. And then I thought, well, that's not a bad idea. Then I thought, well, you're going to be saving a few bucks here. Of course, it's when the sun shines, but that's when I need it because of the air conditioners. But then I think, well, those panels are going to cost me a lot of money. And to get them put in and just use them, would I be saving a dime? Maybe after 20 years, I might have saved a dime, but...
Yeah, I think that there are calculations, and this has been a problem from a lot of people, and we don't fault anyone who's gotten into solar. In fact, we think it's great. We have solar. Mohave Electric has a substantial amount of solar, but ours is very cost effective because it's in the larger farms, and we're able to buy down the cost of the panels and all of that. So so all of our members get solar power. So everybody that's a Mohave Electric member does get a certain amount of their energy that is solar power or renewable power.
It's the green stuff that comes in if you look.
If you can actually look as the meter goes by, if you can separate the green electrons from the other colored
That's
electrons,
exactly.
and that's great. But I guess for the folks who were early entrants to this, you know, there were a set of rules that were created that were probably not necessarily beneficial to anyone, and those rules are slowly changing, and they are changing. And I feel bad for the folks who got into solar with the rules as they were, and they were not created by the utilities, by the way.
Sure.
The rules were not created by utilities; they were created by commissions, and anyway, they are changing over time, and you know, some of the early solar panels, the useful life of those are 15 years. So if your payback is 14 or 16 years,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
that's
a push.
Well, that's a great question to have. But if you actually are, I mean, if it's your philosophical bent, if it's almost a spiritual thing to you to do it, then you know, who are we to say you ought not to do it? But when you really put the pencil to paper, and oftentimes we will help folks, we'll look at the pencil to paper for them. There's oftentimes projections that are in the analysis from the solar seller that are optimistic at best, and I think a good one is 4 or 5 years ago I was seeing people estimate that the utilities bills will go up 5% a year. And this is in 2010.
Wow.
Our costs have gone down,
Isn't that amazing?
not up. So they were escalating 5% a year. So the cost benefit, your payback was based upon something that didn't happen and didn't exist.
That is just rare.
Yeah.
That is absolutely rare. People are so fortunate. Although, I've got to ask you, and I probably shouldn't ask you on television like this.
Probably should.
What's that I hear about you guys writing all these bad checks?
Yeah, you almost whispered that, didn't you? Because you feel bad about it. But yeah, we
Before
were.
I knew anything about it,
That's
you sent
all
me a
right.
press release. So
Yeah, we were contracted by a subsidiary, and it's the for-profit subsidiary that Mohave Electric had for a number of years, Western Competitive Solutions. And when Western Competitive had finished up operations and captured all the profit that it could, we had $5.6 million worth of profit. And the way the documents were set up to create the for-profit utility is that on a member-by-member basis, not number of counts you have, but on the membership basis, everyone got a pro rata share if we made a disbursement, and you made a disbursement at a time. So we went off to do that. We thought, how can we have any problems giving our members $5.6 million? How could we ever have a problem? Well, I will tell you how you can have that problem. The entity you contract to write out 33,000 checks drops a digit off of the routing number.
Oh gosh.
Just inexplicably drops a digit, and the next thing you know, we have 33,000 bad checks. We worked really hard to recover on that. Today, over 31,000 or around 31,000 of the 33,000 checks have been cashed, the new ones.
Yeah.
And about $5.2 million of the 5.6 is in the community.
Okay.
So our being able to try to salvage the problem. We wished it wouldn't have happened.
So what these people do with the checks that haven't been cashed? Put it under their pillow or something?
Yeah, you just grind them up. You can throw them in the trash. They're not good. They're not good. You can't do anything
You
with
said
them.
but only a certain amount have been cashed. What about the uncashed?
Well, the uncashed ones that people still are getting around to. We have people that live out of state. We have people.
Okay.
Some people actually live out in another country, and so that those checks are being moved to them. Some people have their checks and they don't cash them right away. And you know, really 95% or so of our members are incredible. They really are. I mean, they understood right away. We got all kinds of notes saying, hey, not your error, some administrative error, but thanks for sending us some money. There's a small percentage that's not their perspective. It's and not just that, but you have even a smaller group that's trying to figure out how do they turn their one check into two, that type of stuff, and it is taxing, and it was really taxing for the staff. We all put up with a number of days of being yelled at for a issue that we didn't necessarily create. We were trying to do a good thing. Can we give you $5.6 million? And for a few days there, it was pretty testy. But it's corrected now, and here we are. And like I said, it's pretty much is gone away. And as far as any of the real issues, there are a few lingering issues. But once in a while, we get somebody who said, I didn't get the check, and we look and, oh, well, is this the one that was cashed, the one you didn't get? Or I'm trying
you mean you wrote these down? You actually kept track?
Yes, we were keeping
Darn.
track. Yes. So, but anyway, and if you paid attention to nothing but social media, you would see that maybe we really had a lot of problems, but we really didn't. And pretty much for most people, and the people who know me, who have my cell phone number, which tends to be quite a few, I got lots of texts all that whole weekend. But they were just asking, is this true, or will I get a replacement check? And I just said, yes, you will. And it was done. Most of the people to know me. So
can I be ignorant enough to ask what type of monies were per? I mean, how was the amount of money to
there's
family?
33,000 members, and
it was divided equally.
It was all divided equally
Oh.
because each member, the way that the organizational papers were set up for Western Competitive Solutions, each member was basically like a shareholder, and so they all got the same share.
Oh.
There wasn't a disproportion. It didn't matter how much you used or electricity you used. It wasn't connected to Mohave Electric as far as your usage or your size of your bills. So each person was like a shareholder. So $5.6 million divided by 33,000, whatever the total number of checks were, it was $168 and I think 47 or 67
Nice.
cents. I don't remember what it was.
Nice. I'd fill up a fuel tank just a few times.
It was nice.
It was nice.
I'm just saying, NV Energy, you're not a shareholder, are you?
No, but I could have heard somebody say, "Hey, Bruce, let's go to lunch. I just found some money."
You weren't there for lunch? I got everybody else.
Red.
Yeah, I think him and Chad took everyone else out lunch. So
Did they call you? Did they call you?
no, I'm just teasing you.
My office after the show.
Only if Nevada Energy's there.
So yeah, we do apologize for the mess up, but it's
That was
turned
very
around.
generous.
Like I said, we have less than 10%, some number between 5 and 8% of yet to folks to cash it, but it's pretty much done.
You are being installed here pretty soon, or maybe you already have. I heard.
Chamber.
Chamber Perez.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you. It kind of feels like military volunteering.
You missed a meeting or something?
No,
Or everybody
everyone steps
yeah.
back. Kind of felt like that a little bit, but no, I'm really happy to do it. We have really been working hard to right the finances and focus on the financial aspects, the business aspects
Right.
of the chamber. The chamber, it's great, and there's a face of the chamber, and there's a lot of good community activities. But if it's not financially healthy and sound,
Right.
you're not gonna be able to do any of those things. So
Right.
we've focused on that first, the finances, and also focused Elaine Spencer on the priorities are the finances, and also retention and getting new memberships in. And she's doing that. It's been a process to actually get down to who actually we have memberships with, who's all on the where's the money. Is all the money that we see that's on a piece of paper actually going to come in?
Right.
It's that type of thing. We've got budgets going now, and we've got budgets that look like reality. And I think we're on the right track. But it's taken a while. And
Yeah.
John Jones was my predecessor, and obviously it took some toll on him too. And hope that you're doing well, John. I know that he had some health issues and stepped down, and I was the next in line. So.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Wow.
I guess I'm volunteered for.
You just don't have
Quite a
enough
few
to
years.
do, do you?
Apparently, I don't.
How's the wife and kids?
Great,
Excellent.
very, very good. And that charger is going to fire up on Thursday.
Say, put it on your phone. I want to hear it.
You want to hear it?
And shoot it up to me, will you?
Yeah, I will. I will.
I don't even want to tell you about this car. It just makes me absolutely sick. It wants to make me gag every time I think about it. The pictures that I saw of that car is just going to be absolutely awesome.
When it's done, it'll be up here. So.
Oh, good.
I'll be driving around.
Good, good.
My wife will probably get to drive it in the parades. I won't, because I'll be driving old number one.
You better put a block under that throttle on that thing. Good grief.
Because you know my wife, and she she likes to drive.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, block under it, not on top of it. So where she can get her short little feet on top of that cotton picking thing. Well, I got to tell you, besides everything that we've talked about today, the one thing that I think I've got 2 or 3 minutes, the Shade Tree program.
Yes.
Amazingly awesome program.
Great.
I think it's probably saved tens of thousands of dollars over the years for people to have those trees.
It's just amazing. Every year people are lined up, people are here buying the trees. It's even a better year this year.
Good.
Not just that, I mean, that's great, but the volunteers, the people that help work, I mean, it's an amazing community effort. It's
Fabulous.
just incredible.
That's fabulous.
Really incredible.
So and if you're not familiar with that, they get all these trees and these saplings, little trees, and you can buy them for a very real price. Take them home, plant them. You get a beautiful shade tree, and it does several things. Obviously, providing shade for your home as well, keeps that sun from hitting on it. That's saving you energy costs, and just for that little tree and a little bit of water every month.
And the trees are all sold are desert trees.
Yeah.
So
So you don't have to worry about putting gallons and gallons of water on them.
exactly. They're specifically picked for our climate.
That's excellent.
And I'm not the expert that does that. We have actually folks that are experts to do that in the community that do that for us. So.
That's a good tree.
Yeah.
That's going to grow.
That's right.
Hey, listen, I want to thank you very much for coming by and seeing us today.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. You'll come back and see us?
Absolutely.
I guess next time I see you, probably be at the parade.
It'll be at the parade, yes.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
That's
Yes, I
right.
will. That's right.
That's bad.
Then I'll see you at the parade.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Sam, thank you.
No problem. Remember, get your football picks in today.
Oh, that's
this
right.
morning. Got to get them in today.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. And Michaela, thank you.
You're welcome.
To each and every one of you, thank you very, very much. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Please be very, very careful out there. Don't drink and drive. If you don't think the cops ain't out there watching, you're kind of foolish. So, for your own sake and the safety of others, don't drink and drive. We'll be back here again with you tomorrow, and we hope you are here with us as well. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Bye-bye.
The preceding presentation of the morning show is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the show without the express written consent of TV2 KLBC is strictly prohibited.